What is up, everyone? My name is Jack Southall, back again with another WWE Monday Night Raw review for February the 8th, 2016. Very emotional episode for Monday Night Raw, and a lot better than last week's episode. I did not enjoy it. I didn't even do a review of it because I thought it was boring, and really, it didn't really mean much to me, honestly. What did happen last week? What happened was Dean Ambrose got in like Lesnar's face, and AJ Styles beat the shit out of Miz, which is always awesome to see. But yeah, there you go. That's my February 1st, 2016 Raw review. Now on to February 8th. We are in Seattle, Washington, and how we start off the show is a video package for Daniel Bryan. Of course, he was announcing his retirement from WWE, which is a damn shame. I did a video of it earlier today. Terrible stuff, but yeah, we're going to honor this Raw in Daniel Bryan's career memory. Not his actual memory, he's still alive, but his career memory, if that makes sense. Anyway, we have the Raw video package, all that stuff. Pyro goes off, and then Stephanie McMahon, who's already in the ring, she's got the conference table and set up for a contract signing, and the winner of the triple threat match going on WrestleMania, the person who wins faces Triple H, and before she can really get anything in, she's interrupted by Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns when she tries to talk. However, Ambrose is very keen on wanting to beat the shit out of Lesnar, and he's really good, man. He's being really, I don't give a shit. If you cross my way, I'm going to beat the crap out of you, which is really awesome. And of course, Mr. Cock That Fist, Roman Reigns, wants to make his presence felt. But then Lesnar comes out, and he ends up F5ing both of them. Stephanie went out beforehand, before any of the chaos happened, and then Triple H came out with his championship and stared down Lesnar. But I think we all know Mr. Cock His Fist and Make It Rain, and that bitch is going to win that match at Fastlane. And then we get to a backstage segment after commercial break with Ambrose saying that he wants to have a go at Brock Lesnar, and he's going to see him later on the show. So then we get Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler again. Yep, for the 10th time apparently. These two are going at it. Good match, I will say. These two do work pretty well with each other, but seeing the same matches over and over again, I mean, come on, WWE, have some variety for once. Anyway, how this match ended, Dolph Ziggler rolled up Kevin Owens, but he used the ropes to help him win, which is pretty weird. I mean, Dolph Ziggler is supposed to be a babyface. Wouldn't he want to win in just a normal fashion? Just pin him normally, like 1, 2, 3, instead of using leverage? That would be more Kevin Owens kind of thing. Just silly booking in my opinion, but hey, Ziggler gets a win. Let's move on. Then we get a backstage segment with the Usos. They're putting on their war paint, and then the Dudleys walk in, and they're like, "Hey, I heard you are going to be in a tables match with the New Day later on. Mind if we team up together and we take on the New Day?" And I'm like, and they're like, "Yeah, sure, let's go for it." At first, I'm like, "Wait, so it's going to be 4 and 3? How does that make sense?" But we found out later there would be a 4th person added. Then we get Charlotte versus Alicia Fox. And Charlotte won the match. Yippee yay. That match happened. Let's move on. Then we get an episode of Miz TV. Chris Jericho is a special guest, and he was setting up. However, it ends up changing to the highlight reel, which I thought was funny. And the main focus for those two were AJ Styles. Miz talks about how AJ chipped one of his teeth on SmackDown. And then Chris Jericho talks about how it's still eating him alive, how he lost to AJ Styles 2 weeks ago. And then he's going to face him on SmackDown this week. However, AJ Styles comes out, and while he's about to come out, Miz attacks Chris Jericho from behind, but Styles saves him and all that, and then Jericho and AJ have a bit of a stare down, and then they throw a few punches at each other, and then AJ's like, "Come on, let's have a go." Jericho decides to leave anyway. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to lead to a match maybe at Fastlane between Jericho and AJ. I'm I'm pretty sure WWE's trying to do a program with him, which I'm all for because I love AJ Styles and I love Chris Jericho, and I think those two could have a great rivalry. We're slowly turning Jericho heel, and I think it's a pretty safe guess that he's going to perform at WrestleMania since we need those big stars to draw in the audience. So yeah, AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho is going to be very interesting. Can't wait to see what they can do at Fastlane if the match happens. Then we get Ryback versus Bray Wyatt. New gear for Ryback. No longer is he wearing the RVD kind of attire, like airbrushed overalls. Instead, he's going for a more Goldberg look and just black trunks now. He's got the little R on the top of his cock, and on the back it says big guy. He's just asking to be called Goldberg now. I mean, seriously, dude. However, pretty boring match. Wyatt wins the match, and then the Wyatt family beats up Ryback, and then they hit the Sister Abigail on the outside. Of course, we're talking about Bray Wyatt, and yeah, that happened. As for what the Wyatts are doing at WrestleMania, I believe Braun Strowman was going to face The Undertaker, but because the fans said we don't want to see that, apparently they're cancelling their plans and thinking of someone else for The Undertaker to face. Have a backstage segment with Big E shining up a table. He looked hilarious, and Kofi Kingston was wearing glasses for some reason, and Renee did an interview with them and said that they've got some work to do, pretty much building up their match. So we have Dean Ambrose telling Roman Reigns he's going to find Lesnar. Doesn't care if he gets an F5, an F10, an F15, or an F150. He's friggin' keen, let's just say that. And Roman's like, you sure you want to do this, man? Dean's like, mate, I'm going to fucking do it. Then after that, we get Titus O'Neil versus Adam Rose, the Social Outcasts. Adam Rose actually beats Titus O'Neil, which is interesting, and yeah, that was a match that happened. So he goes out there and he pretty much calls out Brock. Pretty ballsy move in my opinion. He says, has Brock gone soft or whatever? And then Lesnar decides to come out and beat up Ambrose, and then Roman comes in to make the save, but then before he does that, Ambrose does a Undertaker low blow on Lesnar. Seriously, Brock Lesnar, start wearing a cup to the ring, because everyone's just going to low blow your buddy. Just saying. So next we got the Lucha Dragons versus Del Rio and Rusev from the League of Nations. They lose the Lucha Dragons, and it's stupid, and who cares? But it's nice to see Sin Cara come back. It's nice to see him there. Okay, so we get R-Truth walking outside early in the day, very funny segment, and then Goldust approaches him dressed as Jimi Hendrix, and he's just playing the guitar. Definitely a lot of Goldust and Booker T stuff I'm getting back to, and security comes up, takes Goldust away. Pretty funny. Then we get to Becky Lynch versus Tamina. Sasha Banks was on commentary, and Jesus Christ, on a pogo stick, she was good looking tonight. However, Tamina beats Becky Lynch. Yay. And yeah, so I believe during the match, Becky got like knocked out by fucking Tamina, which was interesting, and this is going to set up a tag team match for Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks versus Tamina and Naomi. So hope those four can put on a good tag match. I think they can. And then we get the New Day. They're talking to someone backstage about how appealing the unicorn horn is, and he holds at the horn, and they're going to announce the next partner for the 8-man tag match, and it is Mark Henry. He decides to become a non-honorary unicorn, which I thought was really funny, and yeah, that was really interesting. Then we get the tables match, the New Day and Mark Henry versus the Usos and the Dudley Boyz, and they introduce Mark Henry as the world's strongest unicorn, which I will now be calling him from now on. And these guys, they have a decent match. However, during this, Mark Henry fucked off and left the New Day. That was his 9,572nd heel face turn. And Usos and Dudley Boyz win after the Dudleys put Big E through the table with the 3D. And it looks like everyone's celebrating, you know, the Usos and Dudley Boyz are all celebrating. And then out of nowhere, the Dudley Boyz beat the shit out of the Usos, which kind of took me off guard. And they say, we're the Dudley Boyz and we're going to kick your ass, something along the lines of that. And yeah, a Dudley Boyz heel turn? Big question mark. this could be setting up a future match sometime down the line. Yeah, so this could possibly lead to a triple threat TLC match at WrestleMania. I really hope something like that happens, because that would be awesome. And yeah, I'm interested to see what happens to the Dudley Boyz. The New Day is going to get involved somehow. I don't think they're going to care. I think they'll probably just sit back and eat popcorn Keemster style and watch these two teams just beat the shit out of each other. And then we get to the final and saddest moment of the night, the Daniel Bryan retirement speech. Lovely speech of a lovely speech from Daniel Bryan, and he closes his eyes for a bit, and he wants to feel the crowd, that energy inside of his head and all that, and then after that, he says time for some less fun stuff, and he pretty much says that he has to retire, and talks about the MRIs and all the head scans that they did, and that he has no choice but to retire from pro wrestling. And there was a funny bit where it's about a week and a half ago, I took a test, and he's got a family to think about, and his wife wants to start having kids, and then Bryan says that's what Bree says all the time. So very funny stuff there. And he has to announce his retirement, and that he loves a lot of things like the Seahawks, and right behind it, and right before his music hits, he gets this weird sound, and the weird sound before it comes on, he gets a little smirk on his face, and it brings joy to his heart. And that he's wrestled in front of parking lots of gas stations, and that he's wrestled in front of 70,000 people. He loves that. And he's gotten to meet the most amazing people like Kane, William Regal, and Conor the Crusher, of course. I was the big fan of Daniel Bryan, who unfortunately passed away 2 years ago. And he talks about his father, and this is when I started to get very teary-eyed, because he talks about how his father was in the front row watching him at the championship ceremony between Cena and Orton, when the whole crowd was chanting yes and all that for Daniel Bryan. And pretty much it's very emotional. He starts tearing up a little bit, and he's just very appreciative of everything, and he wants to thank the fans. He does one final yes chant, gives everyone in the crowd a high five and a hug, and kisses Bray in the ring, and just a great moment, man. It sucks to see Daniel Bryan, a guy that everyone loves and everyone appreciates inside the ring. He's worked his ass off for 16 years to become one of the best, and yeah, it's just a damn shame to see his career go. But we'll never forget what Daniel Bryan did in the ring, and I'm sure he's not going to be that far away from television anytime soon. He may not be wrestling, but I'm sure he's going to make a few appearances every now and then, kind of like Edge and Shawn Michaels and all those guys. But yeah, thank you, Daniel Bryan, for everything you've done to the wrestling industry. I've remembered seeing you back in NXT, and just watching you grow has been incredible. So yeah, this is going to be it for this episode. I hope you have enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like if you did. Comment down below what you thought of this episode, or what your favorite Daniel Bryan memory is. Let me know. If you want to see more videos from me, hit the subscribe button. My Twitter and my Instagram is at JackamanLol31 if you want to follow me on those. Thank you so much for watching, and I am out in 3, 2, 1.